families, it's Miss Gerber here, and I'm here to show you a fun game that I mentioned in the packets in the math section that kids in our class really love. It's called Flash and Show. To play, you're going to need the cards that look like this, these tens frame dot cards. I already cut mine all apart. Maybe you need to take a second to do that right now. Pause the video, and once you're ready, you can come back and get started. I'm going to show you several, I made a note here, I think 4 or possibly even 5 variations on this game. So you can play it a different way every day, or you can play it whichever variation feels the most fun for you and your student. So the first and the most basic variation is you take all the cards and you put them face down in front of you. And this could be either your student does this for you or you do this for your student. Generally, I do this for the students. So they're all face down and the kids are watching me and ready to go. And then I shuffle them around so they're not in order. And I pick up one card and I hold it up like this. And I flash it for a count of 3. Then I put it down and students raise their hand and can tell me how many dots they saw and how they knew. So go ahead and take a minute to think about what you saw and how many dots and how you knew. And then I'll hold it up again and we'll talk about it, okay? So think about it. Awesome. So some kids might say, I saw 8 dots because there were 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some kids might say, oh, I knew there were 8 dots because there's 10 boxes and 10 and 9 weren't full. So I knew that meant that there was 8 there. Some kids may try to start from the beginning and go 1, 2, and count by ones. If they can get it in time, great. If not, maybe encourage them to try a different strategy like 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting a little bit quicker will give them time. So I'm going to put that one down, and that's just the basic flash and show. And I'm going to hold up 2 more and give you a chance to practice. Just regular flash and show, okay? So, ready? Are you watching? Get set. Go ahead and tell me or your family how many dots you just saw and how you knew. I'll wait. Okay, this is going to be the last one like this. Ready, get set. Awesome. And some ways you can make a variety of this is have your student, rather than telling you, have them write down the numeral that they saw and hold it up so that they can, for example, you can have if your student saw 9 right there, you could have them just write the number 9 and hold it up so you know what they're thinking. So you can turn that into flash and show and write. I would not recommend having your student draw what they saw. Okay, so that's basic flash and show. If you are ready to modify it or you want to give it another try, there's something called flash and show bunny ears. So if I'm going to flash you this card, your student is not going to answer verbally how many dots they saw. They're going to show you on their fingers, but they're not going to hold their fingers out in front of them. They're going to put their fingers behind them like a little bunny ear. So again, I'll show you this card. And then your student would flash the bunny ears behind them. I'll show you one more. Then your student would need to go like this. Okay, now I'll give you one to practice on your own. Ready, get set. Okay, practice holding up your bunny ears for how many you just saw. If holding up the bunny ears is a little too hard, you can have them start by holding fingers out in front of them and then move to bunny ears behind your head. Okay, I'm going to show you another variation. So you can do basic flash and show, you can turn it into flash and show and write, you can have them do flash and show with bunny ears, and this one is called flash and add. So you're going to give students a little bit longer on this one. I would say hold the dots up for a count of 5 rather than 3. And it's pretty straightforward. You just hold up 2. and ask your student how many dots they saw all together. So for that one, your student would say 4 dots. And you can ask them how they know. How did they know that this was 4 and not 5? How come they said that there was 4 and there's 4 on just this card? What about this card? What does adding 0 do to the sum? Those kinds of follow-up questions are really meaningful. For this one, you can also, similarly to basic Flash and Show, you can have them write down the numeral, that's the sum, or you can have them write down the whole addition equation. So in this case, 4 plus 0 equals 4. Those are both some ways to add on there. I am going to do one more round, and I'm going to have students practice. When you see this one, you are either going to write down how many dots you see, or you're going to write an equation to match what you saw, okay? You focused? All right. Okay. I'll give you one more chance with that one. All right, I hope you were able to get it. That's a tricky one. And the very last the very last kind of Flash and Show that I'm going to show you today is for your students who are trying to do the writing an equation when you hold up 2 for Flash and Add, and they're having a little bit of a tough time. So what you can do is either you can be sure, you can kind of like as the adult peek and make sure you're doing smaller numbers and not, putting together 2 fairly large numbers, or you can also modify by having them draw tally marks to show what they saw. Your student might not do proper tally marks closing, but just kind of quick sticks drawing to remember what they saw, and then they can do an equation from there. So if I were to hold these up right now, my quick sticks drawing would look something like this. I'm going to use a small Post-it and a pen, so hopefully people can see, but I would put probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in one group and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in another group. So it would look like that. And your students can do a quick sticks drawing as kind of a bridge to help them be able to do Flash and Add. So I hope you enjoyed those games. There's going to be more uses for these cards. They're really helpful, so please keep them around in your learning area. And I hope you enjoyed learning how to play Flash and Show and Write, Flash and Show and Bunny Ears, Flash and Add. I hope you enjoyed these games and have fun with math, my friends.